Atlantic Fulton County Stadium on Wednesday evening as the Cincinnati Reds are in town to face the Atlanta Braves. Lonnie Smith at the plate against Tom Browning in a scoreless game in the first inning, and Lonnie Smith delivers a double down the left field line when Billy Hatcher has trouble picking up the ball. Terry Pendleton is able to score on the play. An error on Hatcher in left field. 1-0 Braves. In the same inning, Ron Gant with an RBI double into left field, and this enables Lonnie Smith to score 2-0 Braves. And the next man up, Jeff Blauser, makes it 3-0 Braves against the starter Browning because this is a line single up the middle, scoring Ron Gant. 3-0 Braves with Steve Avery, the starter for Atlanta, holding the lead in the bottom of the third inning, but Eric Davis gets a RBI single. Billy Hatcher scores 3-1 Atlanta through 2.5 innings. Bottom three, and Ron Gant is at the plate against Browning. Gant unloads. This one goes deep into the left field bleachers for his 15th homer of the year, a solo shot, 4-1 Atlanta. And Tom Browning's next pitch in the game was to Jeff Blauser, and that one goes in the same vicinity. For one thing, it goes over the fence, and that's what counts. It's a solo home run, back-to-back homers, Gant and Blauser. For Blauser, his 6th round tripper of the year, 5-1 Braves through 3. It's 5-2 Braves. Joe Oliver batting against Steve Avery. 2 men on, and this is a 3-run home run in the top of the 6th inning, tying the game at 5-all on Joe Oliver's 2nd homer of the year. Bottom 6, Mark Lemke comes to the plate, and the tie is broken when Lemke delivers a line single to center field, scoring Greg Olson. The Braves take a 6-5 lead. That was the score through 6 innings. Then Brian Hunter comes to the plate in the 7th inning, and he would triple, scoring Jeff Blauser. Also on this play, look at Eric Davis in center field. Tries to get the ball, gets a face full of wall instead. Injured for the moment, does stay in the contest. In the same 7th inning, Greg Olson at the plate. He gets an RBI single, plating Brian Hunter. The Braves take an 8-5 lead through 7 innings. Cincinnati does get 1 run back, but that's all they get. It's 8-6, Cincinnati trailing in the 9th. Juan Berenger in relief gets Chris Sable to fly out to left field to end the ball game. Atlanta defeats Cincinnati by a final score of 8-6. Juan Berenger's 12th save. Tim Wayano, the loser, 0-1. Steve Avery, the winner, he's 8-5. Atlanta busts open a win.
Bottom of the first inning, Joe Carter belts a 2-run home run to left field. Home run number 18. RBIs number 56 and 57 for Carter, and the Blue Jays led 2-0. Then in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it was Carter once again. Here he belts a solo home run to left field, his 19th of the year. RBI number 58 for Carter, and this gave the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead. Moving now to the top of the 4th inning, the starting and winning pitcher in this game was Tom Candiotti, who picked up his first win as a Blue Jay. He went 7 innings, allowing no runs on 6 hits, and he struck out 7 batters. Here he strikes out Scott Leas to end the top of the 4th inning. We move now to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Blue Jays get another insurance run. Devon White at the plate for Toronto. He will belt a solo home run to left field, his 4th of the year. RBI number 32 for White, and the Blue Jays led 4-0. The next batter up in the bottom of the 4th inning was Roberto Alomar. And this is what Alan Anderson did. He threw it right at Alomar. Anderson was ejected from the game for this incident. Roberto Alomar, the starting second baseman in the All-Star game for the American League, not happy about the hit by pitch. Then in the top of the 7th inning, Roberto Alomar well enough to make this great play on Al Newman. The Blue Jays win 4-0 over the Twins.
Milwaukee, Tom Trebelhorn and the Milwaukee Brewers look to Don August to try to cool off the hot bats of the Red Sox. But in the top of the 1st inning, the Sox exploded. Here, Mike Greenwell with a single scores Wade Boggs and Jody Reed. That's his 44th and 45th RBIs of the season for Greenwell, and it's 2-0 Red Sox. Still in the top of the 1st inning with 2 outs, Ellis Burke at the plate, and he'll take this Don August pitch to the base of the left center field wall. This will score Mo Vaughn and Mike Greenwell. That makes the score 4-0 for Burks, his 29th and 30th RBIs of the season. We're not done yet in the top of the 1st inning. Catcher Tony Pena would give the Sox a 5-0 lead with his 25th RBI of the season as he chops this one up the middle. This scores Ellis Burks, and after 1 inning of play, the Sox had a 5-0 lead. Red Sox starter Greg Harris would be cruising along through 4 innings of play, but not without the help of some fine defense as Jody Reed comes up with a nice diving play over the middle and turns a double play with Luis Rivera to end the inning. And the Red Sox had a 5-0 lead through 4 innings of play as we take another look at this fine play by Jody Reed. In the bottom of the 5th inning, the Brewers would come back. First, Gary Sheffield with this double into the right field corner off of Greg Harris would score. Greg Vaughn from second base, and this made the score 5-1 Boston. And then B.J. Surhoff came up to the plate, and he'd take Harris the other way as he goes down the third baseline past Wade Boggs. This allows Gary Sheffield to score, and the score is 5-2. And Surhoff would score on a sac fly to make it 5-3 after 5. That would be all the scoring in this game as the Red Sox win 5-3. Jeff Reardon picks up his 20th save of the season, his 307th career save, which ties him for second place with Goose Gossage on the all-time save list. Greg Harris improves to 5-7 with the win, and Don August drops to 6-4. The Red Sox win 5-3.
And the Tigers in Baltimore on Wednesday night to take on the Orioles. We start in the bottom of the first inning. Cal Ripken Jr. at the plate, and he hits a ball to left field. John Shelby, the left fielder for Detroit, goes back, but Milt Kyler, the center fielder, knocks into him, and the ball falls to the ground. An error on Kyler on the play. Ripken ends up on second base, but he would not score. Moving now to the top of the third inning, the Tigers get on the board first. Tony Phillips at the plate, and he will hit a single off of Bob Malaki's glove. Skeeter Barnes scores from third base, and the Tigers led 1-0. Then later in the top of the third inning, Lou Whitaker will belt a 2-run home run. This one goes to right field, his 11th of the year, and the Tigers took a 3-0 lead. The beneficiary of these runs, starting and winning pitcher Frank Tanana, who was pitching on his 38th birthday. Tanana went 7 innings, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits, and he improves his record to 6-6. Here in the bottom of the third inning, he strikes out Bob Melvin. Moving now to the top of the 6th inning with the Tigers leading 3-1. Mickey Tettleton, the former Oriole, at the plate, and he will line a single to the right field corner. It scores Lou Whitaker from third base, and the Tigers led 4-1. Then later in the top of the 6th inning, the Tigers add 2 more runs. Skeeter Barnes at the plate, and he will line a single to left field. It comes with the bases loaded, and it scores Cecil Fielder and Mickey Tettleton, and the Tigers led 6-1. Moving now to the bottom of the 7th inning, the Orioles get a run back. Bob Melvin at the plate for Baltimore, and he hits a double to the right field wall. It scores David Segui from second base, and the score was 6-2 Detroit. We move now to the top of the 8th inning, some fine defense by the Orioles. Rob Deere at the plate for Detroit, and he hits a ball to right center field. Joe Orsulak, the right fielder for the Orioles, makes a great diving catch. Moving now to the bottom of the 9th inning with the Tigers now leading 8-2. A 3-2 count to Brady Anderson. Anderson thinks it's ball 4, but it's strike 3. And Chuck Merriweather, the home plate umpire, throws Brady Anderson out of the game for arguing balls and strikes. The Tigers hold on to defeat the Orioles 8-2. Here in San Francisco on Wednesday night as the Giants host the Astros. We start in the top of the 2nd inning with Houston leading 1-0. Casey Candel belts a solo home run to right field, his 2nd home run of the year. RBI number 27 for Candel. That's Greg Litton crashing into the fence, and the Astros led 2-0. Moving now to the bottom of the 2nd inning, some great defense. Luis Gonzalez makes a great diving catch on Matt Williams' ball to left field. The winning pitcher in this game was Jim DeShays. He went 8 innings, allowing no runs on 4 hits, and he struck out 3 batters. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, DeShays strikes out Tony Perez-Chica. The next batter in the bottom of the 3rd inning was John Burkett, and here DeShays gets him the ground to third base, and Kent Caminiti, the third baseman for the Astros, makes a great diving backhand stop and throws to first for the out. A nice play by Kent Caminiti. Then in the top of the 5th inning with the Astros still leading 2-0, Craig Biggio lines a single to right field. It scores Casey Candel from third base, and the Astros led 3-0. Then in the top of the 8th inning, Luis Gonzalez hits a ball in foul territory, and Steve Decker, the catcher for the Giants, can't come up with it. Then in the top of the 8th inning, the Astros get more runs. Ken Caminiti at the plate, and he will line a double off the right field wall. It scores Jeff Bagwell from second base, RBI number 26 for Caminiti, and this made the score 5-0 Houston. Moving now to the top of the ninth inning, the Astros keep pouring it on. Steve Finley at the plate, and he bloops a single to center field. It scores Casey Candell, RBI number 26 for Finley, and the Astros led 6-0. Then later in the top of the ninth inning, Luis Gonzalez would get into the act. Here he belts a 3-run home run to right field, his 8th of the year. It just does clear the fence in right field. RBIs number 34, 5, and 6 for Gonzalez, and the Astros defeat the Giants 9-0. Top of the fifth inning with no score, Mike Bordick at the plate for Oakland. He belts a double to left field. It scores Mike Gallego all the way from first. Gallego was running on the play. This is the first RBI of the year for Bordick, and the A's led 1-0. Then later in the top of the fifth inning, Jose Canseco hits a double to left field. Dean Palmer, the left fielder of the Rangers, misplays the ball. Ricky Henderson scores from second base. RBI number 54 for Canseco, and the A's led 2-0. The beneficiary of these runs, starting and winning pitcher Dave Stewart. Here in the bottom of the fifth inning, he strikes out Juan Gonzalez. Stewart pitched a 3-hit shutout, his first complete game of the year. He struck out 4 batters, and he improves his record to 6-4. Then in the top of the seventh inning, an unusual source for power, Mike Gallego belts a solo home run to left field, his 3rd home run of the year. RBI number 17 for Gallego, and the A's led 3-0. Then later in the top of the seventh inning, Oakland gets 2 more runs, and it comes off of the bat of Jose Canseco. Here he'll belt a 2-run home run to left field, his 20th home run of the year. RBIs number 55 and 56 for Canseco, and this made the score 5-0 Oakland. Moving now to the bottom of the 8th inning, one of the strangest sights you'll see on a baseball field. An owl was trying to court his pussycat, and his pussycat was Jose Canseco. Here Canseco distracts the owl. Durwood Merrill sneaks around the owl, picks it up, and then puts it in the bag. A good job by Durwood Merrill and Jose Canseco. Better than Marlon Perkins on the Wild Kingdom. The Oakland A's defeat the Texas Rangers in this ballgame 5-0.
Home on Wednesday afternoon to take on the Pirates, and in the bottom of the first, Zane Smith on the mound, and right fielder Gary Varsho lunges for this Mark Grace drive, but he can't come up with it. Varsho, who had 2 home runs and a triple on Tuesday afternoon against his former club, this time not as lucky. Grace with a triple, he'd later score on a ground out, 1-0 Cubs. In the top of the fourth, Andy Van Slyke would give the Pirates a lead. With Jay Bell on first base, Van Slyke hits this 2-run home run, his 9th of the year. And this gives him 38 RBI, and the Pirates take a 2-1 lead against Cubs starter Les Lancaster. Top of the 6th, Barry Bonds with his foul ball right off his foot. A painful moment for Bonds, but he would be all right and stay in the game. Then still in the top of the 6th, Lancaster surrenders this single to Varsho, the former Cub. Once again going to town against his old club. This time it would score Jay Bell and Van Slyke, and it's 4-1 in favor of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They'd add a couple more runs in the 6th to take a 6-1 lead. Now on the bottom of the 7th, the score is 6-2. Pinch hitter Chico Walker, a 2-run home run, his 2nd of the year, and that makes it 6-4 in favor of the Pirates. But Lloyd McClendon in the top of the 8th would hit a pinch hit home run against his former club, the Cubs. McClendon's 4th of the year comes off reliever Paul Ossenmacher, and it gives the Pirates a 7-4 lead in the top of the 8th.
The Pirates turn the 8th inning into a 5-run inning, thanks in part to their miscues. Jose leaned with the pop-up that Jose Vizcaino and Mark Grace collide on and lose. Again, the replay. A Gary Reedus RBI infield single makes it 8-4 Pittsburgh. Then with 2 men up, Laddie Renfro pitching for Chicago, Orlando Merced for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it's a 3-run home run into the outer reaches of Wrigley Field and center field, an 11-4 Pittsburgh lead. Andre Dawson does answer the Merced 3-run home run with a 3-run home run of his own against Stan Belinda in the bottom half of the 8th inning, closing the gap to 11-7 Bucks over Chicago. But that's the final. Pittsburgh wins 11-7, Zane Smith 9-6, Les Lancaster 4-3. Kansas City Royals are visiting Anaheim Stadium on Wednesday evening to face the California Angels. Danny Tartabull at the plate in a scoreless game in the first inning against Chuck Finley. With a runner on board, Tartabull deposits this one into the empty seats, over the wall for a 2-run home run for Tartable, his 16th home of the year. 2-run shot gives the Royals a 2-0 lead after half inning. Bottom one, the score is 2-2. Lance Parrish with the pop-up off of Luis Aquino, the starter for Kansas City, and Danny Tartable can't get it. That enables California to take the lead 3-2 as Dave Parker crosses the plate. And in the top of the second inning, Chuck Finley delivering to Brian McRae. This one drops also. Gary Thurman scores, and we're knotted again, this time at 3-all. And then it's time for the Kansas City Royals to fall behind because in the bottom of the second inning, Louis Polonia will score from first base on this Dave Gallagher blooper. Danny Tartable can't make the play, and he's caught off guard. Polonia scores from first, 4-3 through 2, California leading, although Dave Winfield did almost take his teammate's head off, Dave Gallagher. The score remained 4-3, California, through the middle innings, Hal McRae's team behind. Meanwhile, Chuck Finley had a shaky start but settled down nicely. In the 6th inning, strikes out Mike McFarland to end that inning. He pitched 8 innings of 3-run ball and left it up to Brian Harvey to save it in the 9th. California leading 4-3 with 2 outs in the 9th. Kurt Stillwell grounds out, shortstop to first to end it. California wins 4-3 and take over first place. Chuck Finley 12-3, Luis Aquino 1-2, Brian Harvey is 22nd save. Doug Rader's team is hot. 7 out of 9.
Tonight from Seattle, Ken Griffey Jr., the top vote getter in the American League All-Star ballot, and the Mariners take on the Chicago White Sox. In the top of the first inning, Tim Raines strikes out looking to Bill Kruger from the Mariners. This game was scoreless through the first 4 innings as Charlie Huff did not give up a hit, as here's seen striking out Edgar Martinez. But in the bottom of the 5th inning, things fell apart for the Chicago White Sox outfield. Sammy Sosa has a problem with this ball. Tim Raines tries to bail him out with the dive, but the ball gets by both of them. And Pete O'Brien hustles his way into third base, and he stands on third base with no outs. With 1 out in the same inning, it'll be Alonzo Powell with another fly ball into right center field. Corey Snyder will get under it with no problem. As you see, he waves off Sammy Sosa, but Sosa gets in the way. This obstructs Corey Snyder's throw, and Pete O'Brien tags up for third, just beating the throw. Snyder might have had him if Sosa didn't get in the way. That made the score 1-0, and then in the bottom of the 6th inning, Ken Griffey Jr. hits his 8th home run of the season into the right field seats, his 33rd RBI, and it made the score 2-0 Seattle. Ozzie Guillen's RBI groundout scored Corey Snyder in the top of the 7th, made the score 2-1. Then Lance Johnson led off the top of the 9th with a triple, and then Warren Newson lines this one off the left field wall, scoring Lance Johnson, ties the game at 2, and we're in extra innings.
Expos, losers of 9 straight, are entertaining the Mets at Olympic Stadium on Wednesday. Howard Johnson at the plate against Chris Haney, looking for his first Major League win. And the first inning performance won't do it because Hojo hits his 19th home run of the year, leads the league, and his 60th RBI of the lead, leads the league. A 2-run shot, 2-0 Mets through 1. Top 3, Hubie Brooks at the plate. He singles up the middle to give New York a 3-0 lead as big man Kevin McReynolds scores. And New York would take that lead through the middle innings. And Hubie, I know the Philly fanatic. You're no Philly fanatic. Top 6, New York still leads at 3-0, and Chris Haney to Rick Cerrone. Cerrone lifts a fly ball to right field. Dave Martinez makes the great play, but drops it. So Cerrone has a single, but Cerrone is bold, going for second. Dave Martinez throws him out. I don't think you should have tried it, Rick. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Ron Darling still pitching a shutout here, getting Marquise Grissom to ground out third to first to end the 6th inning. Ron Darling would pitch 8 innings before being relieved and give up but 2 hits. That's true in part due to the good defense behind Darling in this contest. Tommy Herb playing second base here takes the Delino DeShields smash and makes the out at first base in the bottom of the 7th inning. So New York is leading 3-0 in the top of the 8th inning when Tommy Herr goes from the field to the batter's box. He delivers an RBI single. Rick Cerrone chugs home from second base, and Herr goes to second on the throw home. New York leads it through 8 innings, 4-0. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, Alejandro Pena comes in to keep that 4-0 New York lead here, getting Ivan Calderon to ground out to end it. New York wins 4-0. Montreal loses their 10th straight. Ron Darling 5-5, Chris Haney 0-3.
Major League Baseball action on Wednesday night from Yankee Stadium. Stump Merrill and the Yankees try to complete a three-game sweep of the Cleveland Indians. In the bottom of the first inning, Steve Sax leads off the inning with a home run into left field. A solo shot for Sax's fourth home run of the season, his 28th RBI, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. Things haven't been going too well for the Cleveland Indians, and this is evident in the top of the third inning as Sandy Alomar takes this Scott Caminiti fastball into what looks like the left field seats. Hensley Mullins doesn't think so as he continues play. It's at first called a home run as Alomar is congratulated, but Stump Merrill runs out into left field to argue the play. The final ruling of the play is that the ball hit off the top of the wall in left field. Umpire Rocky Rowe sends Sandy Alomar back to second base. From this angle, it looks like the ball hit off the first set of seats over the left field wall, but it was overruled and Alomar went back to second base. Cleveland Indians failed to score in this inning. As we take one more look at it from a different angle, and this may change your mind. The Yankees led 1-0 after 3 innings of play. The woes continued for the Tribe in the bottom of the fourth inning as this towering fly ball by Kevin Maas falls between Carlos Baerga and Mark Whitten. We'll give an E to the scorekeeper on that one as he gives Kevin Maas a double on the play. Mark Whitten wasn't the only one having a tough time tonight as home plate umpire Joe Brinkman takes one where it hurts from this pitch from Scott Caminiti. Brinkman was okay. In the bottom of the sixth inning, Roberto Kelly would make it 2-0 Yanks as he sends this pitch into the right field seats. That made it 2-0. A Mel Hall sacrifice fly would make it 3-0, and the Yankees had a 3-0 lead into the seventh inning, but Albert Bell would hit his 11th home run of the season. He'd hit this shot to left center field, his RBI number 34 for Albert Bell, and the Yankees had a 3-1 lead. Mark Whitten would hit a home run, his 4th of the season. That would make it 3-2. But Steve Farr would shut down the Indians as he strikes out Albert Bell for the final out. He picks up his 12th save. Denny Boucher drops to 0-5, and Scott Kaminicki is now 3-1. Carlton Fisk would single up the middle and scoring Robin Ventura. This makes the score 3-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 12th. The Chicago White Sox take the lead over the Seattle Mariners.